Hey. This is HQ at HQ Reacts. This was a good question. Somebody asked it the other day, and I was interested in the response we got from men. How can you be the predator and be the prey? Or be the predator and be the protector? How can you be both of those things, right? I always wanted to know that because how can you protect someone from you? How can a man protect a woman from himself? She's not a predator. But 9 times out of 10, the man is the predator. But yet he's the protector. Supposed to be the protector, right? I mean, it's a weird question. It's a very weird question. The qualities I think that make a man a protector, the the strength, the aggression, strategical thinking, logical thinking, and dominance are also the ones that, uh, if they become misguided, can make him the predator. Usually, it comes all the way come, and I say this a lot to a lot of people. It's your intentionality. It's your intent, your morality, and your discipline that really makes the difference between a predator and a protector. A protector uses his power to protect people, to shield people, to uphold justice, create a safe space. A predator exploits that power for selfish reasons, for selfish gain, harming, doing harm to other people. Okay, men have often been seen as the warrior, the enforcer, but also the conqueror, the exploiter, the predator, the oppressor. The difference is the intent. The difference is how they use or channel that ability or that power towards protection and predatory behavior. Okay. What helps a man stay in the role of protector? What makes the difference between a person that does predatory behavior or a man that does predatory behavior as opposed to protecting? Is it the family? Having fellowship, mentorship, community, strong moral code, sense of responsibility? What makes a difference? What makes a man the same qualities that make a protector are some of the same qualities that make him a predator? Depends on the energy, depends on his intent. What's his intent? And I sat in and tried to figure out what makes a man, how does a man reduce a woman's fear from him? Okay. How does a man, how does she look at him? See, we had a discussion, or there was a discussion one day on a panel. Someone was saying, how can women be afraid of men? How do they have fear of men? Why do women have fear of men, or they don't have fear of men? Women's fear of men, especially in public and unfamiliar places, is a mixture of how we've experienced, or we had personal behaviors, experiences, safety concerns. I mean, there is a reason for why we have fear, right? But I always wondered, how can we be protected from how does the predator protect the innocent people? And it's all due to intent. If you approach life as a person who's not trying to do harm to another human being, are you trying to do harm to another human being? Do you live in fear? And that is the first element, the first emotion. The first go to is to harm first instead of to help. My thing is when women are in public spaces, do you try to minimize the harm, the danger, the fear of her in that public space? Do you try to, as a man, try to read the body language of that woman? Figure out what she's thinking. Could she be fearful? Could I be expressing predatory? Could I be expressing something that would make her feel for about me? Are you respecting the boundaries that she may have when it comes to saying no? When it comes to her saying she's not interested or she doesn't want to talk about it or something like that? Are you respecting those? Do you read the room, as they say? Pay attention to the clues that she may be giving you. Hey, Robert, I don't know what you mean. Hello. Okay. I don't know how to reconcile that. Sometimes we don't know how to reconcile men who are good with men who are bad, because we only have an instinct to protect ourselves, us women. We only have that. We've been taught that be careful, don't go there, don't go down there, don't do that. It's a healthy response. Okay. It's a healthy response to the fact that we know that we are prey on this planet. Okay. Women should know that. You should have a healthy fear. And that shouldn't be something that's played with women if you're a man. That's something that should not be played with if you're a man. Okay? I mean, if a woman has a concern and she shares that concern, don't minimize it. Don't dismiss it. If she says, I'm concerned, don't laugh at it. Try to support it. Because I hear a lot of men say, or some men say, we can't believe everything a woman says. Nobody said that. But most of the times, you'd rather err on the side of caution than to not err on the side of caution, to be on the wrong side of that. Okay? Try to not be so less threatening. Let's put it that way. Be an ally, be a friend, be somebody that's supportive. You know what? This past election, people didn't even take the fact that women would lose rights under this administration. They didn't even take it seriously. Okay? Please hit the like button. You guys in and out, please hit the like button. Okay? Support actions and policies that make places safer for women. You think the world is more safe or less safe when women don't have access to reproductive rights? To any woman that's walking this planet, she should feel less safe. And when people cheer because, oh, you just wanted access to the AB, you just wanted access to that. a little bit of part of me was like, this world ain't safe for my granddaughters, because women are prey on this planet. Make sure that people are getting consent. You're getting consent. Everybody has consent for what's going on, for what is happening in their lives, for whatever relationship, whatever issue that's going on, polyamorous, regular, whatever, regular, consensual sex. Make sure that everybody is saying yes, all at the same time. Okay. Don't make human beings feel uncomfortable because of your size, because you are a male, because you have dominance. Women know when a man walks into the room, when he's dangerous. Women understand that. Okay, we understand that. It's instinctive. And if you have turned it off, then I feel sorry for you. But most women understand that we are prey on this planet. Right? And we get that. My whole point is women need to start moving like that again. Moving as though you understand that you are prey and you are not the dominant animal on this planet. And men need to be moving as though they understand that they're the dominant person on this planet or thing on this planet, and have mercy on lesser mortals or lesser things or lesser or weaker things than they are. Hello, Anaja Lewis. Hello. Okay. Give women space to be fearful. And women should give men space to be able to say, hey, I understand that you're a weaker vessel than I am, and I will protect accordingly, right? I'm not saying every man has to protect a woman. That's not what I'm saying. But you have family, you have good daughters, you have sons, there's people that you can protect. There's people that you can put ahead of your dominance, right? I mean, the whole key is you have to learn to understand that women operate women operate with a low level sense of caution because of lived and unlived experiences. Because we understand most women get their prey. You got to be conscious. Men have to be conscious of that. Adjust their behavior. Okay? But they can help. They can help a woman feel safe. Somebody asked this question: can men be protectors and predators? This is a question I wanted people to think about and to answer. Can you be a protector? And I mean stand firmly in that protection coat. Protection in it. Stand firmly in it. Because it's like once somebody asked, or once someone said one question, one thing, they said one thing, and then it was like black men decided that they were going to turn this particular aspect of themselves off. Hey, Drobo Nut, Anaj, Lewis, Robert. They said it seems as though when a woman said, and I don't know how long ago this was, I don't know when it happened, they took that "I don't need you" phrase and then they took it to heart, not realizing that they contributed to a woman saying, "I don't need you." You men contributed to that. You did things that caused us to say we could not depend on you at some particular point. Whether that was no financial support, or whatever it was. At one particular point, you men were unreliable to the women. It just is a fact. And that's coming back slowly but surely, or however, right? However it was, whether it was emotionally or physically or financially, whatever it was, the woman, some back then when they said we don't need a man, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't a emotional thing. I'm pretty sure it was a financial thing, but they turned it into something else. And once a woman said that, we stopped looking, or women stopped looking at men as protectors. Once they said, hey, we don't need you, meaning women were saying, we don't need you financially. We can fend for ourselves. We're not specifically dependent upon men. We can take care of ourselves. Excuse me, y'all. Once women said that, and men said, oh, she doesn't need me. I don't need to be around, blah, blah, blah. Took it straight to heart. You guys were hurt. You guys were hurt. Men were hurt. Their feelings were hurt. Once they did that, women stopped looking at men as protectors. And my whole point is, now we have to convince the women. We have to convince the women again that you are not only just the prey, the predator, you're also the protector. And the difference is a flip of the coin. They're one side of each other, the protector side and the predatory side. Two halves of a different the same coin. Okay? Because you can be one or the other. One or both. You can be one or the other, or no. I'm sorry. You can be both, but you can't not be one or the other. That doesn't work because you're not built that way. Same qualities that make you a predator make you a protector. And as fiercely as you want to be a predator, you have to fiercely want to be a provider too, or protector too. And all of it has to do with, are you intent on being a person that wants to do harm or not do harm? Can you be on this planet and put your best foot forward and a woman is not afraid of you? I mean, I've never met one woman that hasn't walked this planet who hasn't said she has a little bit of fear. She has a little bit of fear. And we understand, most women understand that they are prey. And it is what it is. Men get upset when I say women have fear of men. They just do. The bulk of us understand that we are prey. Us women. Not that all of you don't have the intent to do harm. No, the bulk of you don't. But there are the ones that do. And those are the ones that struck fear in the heart of women. Okay? Those are the ones that struck fear in the heart of women. Okay? And so we women walk this planet understanding where we are, but we also want men to understand where they are. We also want men to take their responsibility and say, yes, I am the predator, but I can also be your protector as well. Okay? I come in peace. Yeah, that's a good one. We come in peace. We come not to do harm. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, hey, Trill Life for life. I'm not saying men are here to do any harm. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the one thing that makes you a predator is the other side makes you a protector. Because you understand. And this is the one thing I don't like about men. They act like, no, I'm not a what is it? I'm not a violent man. I'm not a what is it? I'm no danger to a woman. Yes, you are a danger to women. Not that you act on it. I'm not saying you act on it. I'm saying you will do harm if someone does something against your space or your thing or your woman. You will do harm. If given the opportunity, you would do harm. Right? And you would be confident in the fact that you could do some damage. See, women don't have that. We don't have that thought process. We know we can't do harm to a creature that is stronger or more dominating than us. We understand, and and what makes a man a predator will be the same thing that will be good for him as a protector, because you understand what it means to be dominant. So you understand what a man, his thought process. You can anticipate what he plans to do, how he plans to hurt, how he can harm a woman. And this is what would make you the perfect protector of a woman, is because you understand how that other predator may think. There are all kinds of good men on this planet. Just for example, there's 1,000 good men, but there's 2 bad ones. If there's 1,000 good men, there's 2 bad ones. And that means that 1,000 that are good men have to understand that there are those 2 that are willing to do harm. There are some, it just is what it is. There's some men on this planet who are here to wreak havoc, to do damage. And that's something we cannot play with. That's something we cannot overlook. Okay. Which one is, how do you protect a woman? If you're the predator, how do you protect a woman? What do you do? What do you do for that woman to make her say she's not the predator? Do you understand how bad it can get if a woman is in a home and she feels as though she's prey inside that home? If she feels like she has no say inside that home, if she feels like she cannot express herself inside that home, if she feels like she has to, and she has to, I can't explain it because I'm not a man. I want, what I want is men to come on the panel and explain to us, how can you be the predator and be the protector? What do you think the difference is? And how do you, and seeing as how we women always look at you as a more dominant human being or a person that can do harm to us. All women do. They say they don't. They understand we're on the hierarchy of life. We understand that we're here and you guys are here. We understand that. So how do you turn yourself, as a man, how do you turn yourself from being a predator in our eyes to being a protector? Right? Do you have the, do you in everyday life do you approach life in the way that makes women feel safe? And some men on this planet uh, will never be able to make a woman feel safe because he is such a uh, forceful or dominant human being that a woman never rests. A woman never stops thinking of what could be, what danger could happen, what ill or malfeasance kind of thoughts that run through men's heads. Okay. And my whole point is we women, when people say women fear men, this is the fear that we have: being taken, raped, held hostage. All of these things that restrict our being, that restrict who we are. These are the things that we fear when we say men are predators or can be predators. I'm not saying all men. I didn't say all men. I said you have the predatory instinct and you have the protector instinct. And some of you use that predatory instinct all the time, and some of you guys use it every once in a while, and some of you don't ever use it, although you are aware of it. That's a very controlled human being who knows how to control their predatory behavior. I'm not saying women don't have it. Stop saying women. I'm saying the men. I'm saying there's not one. Let me put it this way. It's not one man on this planet that walks around. No, how do I put it? You know how you guys, you walk around and you walk out of a building and you got to walk to your car and there's an empty parking lot and your car is over there all the way on the other side of that parking lot. You men don't think anything of anybody jumping you. You men don't think anything of somebody popping out of the blue and you not being able to handle yourself if something happens. Most men don't worry about that. They just go to their car. I don't know, whatever. Women always, it's always ratcheted up a notch or two when she thinks about it. That awareness that she is prey. I'm not saying there's anybody out there. That's not what I'm saying. But we're always working in. We're always working with that little thing in the back of our head that says things can happen. We don't think about that thing when it comes to other women. We only think of that thing when it comes to men. So it's a man being the predator. It's the man that she fears. We operate with an underlying sense of caution and fear because of lived or unlived experiences. We are conscious. You have to be conscious of male behavior. We have to adjust our behavior. We have to tailor our behavior. We do it every day. And my whole thing is this: when a man can foster and promote a safe and comfortable environment, that's when he gets the women. When a woman feels safe in a relationship is when you will get that submission. People are always talking about submission and blah, blah, blah. That's when you will get it. When that woman feels safe, when that woman feels that your predatory nature will be surpassed by your protective nature. Okay. That's when submission occurs. People say, well, don't submit. No, me not Not being a hyena doesn't mean I submit. That's not what that means. But you will have 1,000,001 men who think that's what that means. That's not what that means. Her not screaming and yelling and all that doesn't mean she's submitted to you. Submission is a process that occurs between a woman and her. She's fighting her fear, that underlying sense of caution. She's allowed that she's allowed that man to be the protector, and she's no longer ruled by the predatory side of him that she knows he has, and she's ruled or wants to deal with the protector side, and she has allowed herself to pull her guard down. That's when you have surrender, or that's when you have submission from a woman, when she has safety. Okay. So I wanted men just to talk about it a little bit, just to talk about it and explain or give a good summation of how do you answer the question? How do you answer the question of men are predatory, but yet they want to be the protector? How do you reconcile that? How do you say to a woman, I know that I am a predator on this planet. I'm the most dangerous predator on this planet, but I am also the biggest protector of women, of my woman on this planet. And a woman can feel safe with that man, because we're not going to be, every woman will not be safe with every man. You just have to make your woman feel safe. You just have to have one woman who feels safe, who understands that you are a predator and you are a protector. You only need one woman to feel that way. Okay? You don't need all of us to feel that way. Some men exude that protection armor. Okay? Some men exude that predator armor. Thank God most of you have the protection. You lead with that. Okay? But I'm saying you all have the predatory instinct. You all have the potential for violence. You all or mishandling of female nature or female whatever. Every man has that possibility in him. Okay? And I said, okay, open panel, because I can't speak for men. I can't speak for men. I can't say to the women, hey, ladies, you have no fear of the men. It will never happen. That won't ever happen. Don't ever say that when it comes to women. Don't ever tell a woman she doesn't have anything to worry about, or she's misguided, or that fear is misplaced. It's never misplaced, because we always have a sense of caution. A woman will. She's not the top predator. But I'm saying, are there things that men can do, men can say, men can put in place? Are there things that he can do, say, and put in place that will make a woman feel better or make a woman feel safer when she gets on a panel and people say, well, women are afraid of black men, or women are afraid of men, period, or women are afraid of men, da-da-da. And what does one say as a man to the women that are afraid? What does he say as a man? What can you say? What can you take to the masses? What can you say to anyone? Hey, we understand that we have this in our nature. We understand that most men, and I'm going to say as a woman, most men's intent is never to harm. Some men will never harm another human being on this planet, ever, right? Some men have never even thought about it. Most men, I'd say 99.9% of men have never even thought, let me hurt a woman. Let me put my hands on a woman. Let me restrain a woman. Let me tell a woman what to do. Let me make a woman feel less than. Let me make a woman feel like she ain't shit. Most 99.9% of men on this planet. But there's also that 1% that, if cut loose and let loose on this planet, can wreak havoc on the population. And we want to say, I hope you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. You know what this is. Give up the like. Don't do that, y'all. Come on. We're not begging for super chat. We asking for likes. That's it. Super chat is great. Cash App is welcome. Just hit the like button. So this is what I'm asking. Men. I understand that it's not something that you like to talk about. Well, we men don't do that. We don't. No, I'm not saying all of you men. I'm saying everyone has a potential to do that. Every man has the potential of violence in him. And I was very much aware of my husband when he, very much aware of the fact that he could be, or he, whatever he decided, he could be a predator. He could be not a predator. And people look at the word predator as an, oh, you sneaking around. No, not that. Predator in the sense of you have more power than I do on this planet. You have power to get things done. You have power to do certain things. You have power to have dominance over another human being. You have that power. Men have that power. I'm saying, do you wield your power with benevolence? Do you wield that power with benevolence, or do you wield it like a cudgel, sledgehammer, always saying, I'm the dominant one? Are you that person? Okay. Or are you a person that seeks to help and to smooth the road, knowing that if you smooth the road for her, your road is going to be smooth as well? Okay. And then we have that issue on this planet. We haven't. A lot of men pretend that they don't pretend with women, because we need to know. We already have an instinct not to trust, not to feel safe in your presence. We don't want to be one of those people. We don't want to be in the position of not feeling safe, but it is what it is. We operate with an underlying sense of caution. All women do. We have to adjust to you all's behavior. We have to adjust our behavior because we know the severity and the extreme nature of what you as a man are capable of. Okay? If we don't adapt our behavior, we walking around like chickens with our head cut off. We would be la 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 la. We don't care. We don't have any fear. We don't have any. And then that's not how the world works. That's not how the world works. There's a healthy dose. I want to hear from the men. Not necessarily today. Maybe it'd be part 2. This is just the thought process on this subject. Explain to us why, as women, that if you're the predator on this planet, how can you be my protector if you're the predator on this planet? And I know people look at that, oh, that's a crazy word, HQ. Yes, it is a crazy word, but it is what it is. You are the predator on this planet. You're also the protector. You're also the protector of women and the predator of women, both. So how can the predator be the protector? Some people say you can't. You can't be the predator. You can't be the predator and be the protector. Because men prey on other men. Men prey on women. Women, you don't see women preying on men. That's not how that happens. That's not how it works. Okay? You never saw the mouse prey on the snake. Okay? So it's always the man preying on the men. And I'm saying in the part 2, which is going to be a part 2 sometime this weekend, part 2, I want men to really come up and men to really explain or say, how do you make us feel safe if you're the person that we have to fear? If you're the person that we have to fear, how do we begin to feel safe as women? Can we feel safe as women? I don't know how that happens, but I do know that submission only happens when that healthy dose of fear, when that underlying sense of caution has disappeared in a relationship. That's when submission happens, when that underlying fear of caution has disappeared out of the relationship. Will you get submission from that woman? People say, no, she'll submit. No, that's not how it goes. That's not how that goes. A woman has to be safe and secure. And she has to feel trust. Safe, and you have to be a trustworthy individual in order for submission to happen. If you don't have trust and you don't have a healthy human being who is trustworthy, you will never get submission. It never works that way. It never works any other way. Because submission in itself, it means I'm laying on my back and giving you the knife to cut me open at your will. Men know what that is because men won't do it. But they want women to do it. And I'm telling you, that's how it's done. And I'm telling you, it only occurs if a woman feels safe. If you present a safe alternative to anything else. What in the hell? And so I want that to happen. Sometimes people think about it. To this stream, I want men to put on this stream when this closes, when this stream closes, I want you to write in the stream, comment in the stream. I'm gonna have to pin this comment. I'm gonna pin this comment to the top of the stream. Okay, to this live, to pin it to the top of this live. Okay, is there fear in loving a man? I'm gonna put it to you. Okay. Can a man be can a man be a predator and the protector? Okay, it's a question. Can a man be a predator and the protector? Okay, I'm gonna pin it to the top of this chat. So it's one of the questions that I want. If you want to answer it, if you wanted to, I want it answered so that I can address it and we can have another discussion from this whole question thing. Can you be that? Can a man be a predator and the protector? So the next time we have a discussion, when the next time this reacts, I have another react, HQ has another react regarding this subject, I would like the answers when I look inside this link. Can you be? Okay. And I want a clear answer to can you be? It's not enough men to answer that question now. But I want you to think about it and then come back. And then I want you to put the answer in the chat. Because I wanna hear from men. I want to hear what they say, what they have to say, what they think. This is not a crazy question. Sit and think about it before you answer it. Can a man be a predator and the protector? Is it possible? And I thank you guys for showing up. I wanted to present that question. Would that be a good question for another topic? And I want the answers in the comments. Women too. Women can answer. Anybody can answer. I just want to jump off board where people can say, oh, okay, well, I never thought of it that way. Oh, okay, can I do it this way or that way? Okay, because we're just trying to understand human nature. Okay, and I thank you all for showing up. This is one of those impromptu thoughts I was thinking about. Can a man protect and provide but be a predator at the same time? Can he or can he not? Can it be one without the other? Let's see. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you. Hopefully you guys hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.